This is Fred Beck from Fred Beck's Fighting. I'm down in the studio today by Fricktion. I've never been in these chairs before. They actually fall all the way back like that.
I know, mate. I was about to fall over, mate. How are you, Fred?
I'm good. I've just finished the Kingpin fight week.
Yeah.
So quite tired, but still going back into it.
You're everywhere, man. You got to be like up early for Salt Pappy tomorrow as well, right?
Yeah.
Where's that at?
It's somewhere in London. I forgot the actual original location. It's gym in London. It's about an hour and a half journey.
I've seen you everywhere, all over the place.
Well, the thing is, the views are so good on fight night. They all drop back down. But you can't let it go all the way back down. You still got to keep kind of the car moving almost.
Okay.
It's the same as the music, right? So when you get a really good song, you can't just not do anything for the next year. You still got to carry on being in the studio, keep moving.
Got it, man. Interesting.
I guess it keeps ticking over. It's a smart thing, but a lot of people watching this, they won't know who you are just yet. You're originally the DJ for Misfits, and you also been DJ for quite a few other people. Who have you worked with in the past?
DJ wise, I have played for Neymar, Usain Bolt, Ronaldo, also like Leonardo DiCaprio and Drake, these kind of people. Lewis Hamilton actually last year as well. For his F1 Grand Prix, in London. No, Silverstone. What am I saying? London, sorry. Silverstone.
How does that come around? We use DiCaprio as an example. How does that come around? Are you in the club already doing it? He walks in. Is it all organised before?
It's both actually. Like I've played in clubs where he's been in attendance, and then, some representative from his team has reached out to me on like separate occasions to come and do private parties as well, which is pretty cool.
So apart from DiCaprio, Ronaldo, what was he like?
Oh, we're talking about R9, by the way.
Oh wow, OG
Ronaldo. Yeah, we're not
That's
talking
cool.
about CR7. He's a super cool guy, man. He's like polite. He's just like really enjoying the music and stuff, Yeah, man.
But then for a certain person, do you just style it in there like a music, or do you just keep doing your thing?
I think with Ronaldo, I was doing a Brazilian baile funk set, and he was really into it. And I think that maybe he assumed that I wouldn't know those songs. But at the time, I was playing at Toy Room, which is a really popular venue in London.
Okay.
And there's a big Latino crowd in the venue, so it's easy for me to kind of like gauge the kind of music they're into, Yeah.
Okay, I understand. But then as a DJ, do you to really kind of watch the room to see what everyone's feeling, what everyone's going on? Because I know I've been in the club before where no one's really that hyped up, and they switch the song and it changes the whole mood, the whole vibe. Or do you kind of have to stick to your thing, and now you know what you're doing, since you've been doing it for so long?
With that, sorry, mate. With that, it really, really depends on the crowd and the venue that I'm playing. So, I'm playing in like a lot of mainstream clubs, West End clubs. So a lot of it's down to like bottle show requests, that kind of thing. And so, on the most part, there's kind of like a set format that works, and I just tend to stick to that. And I can experiment a little bit, but not divert too far away from what works,
Okay.
Whereas, like, for example, the music at Misfits is a lot more broad. I can just kind of experiment with whatever. So,
I guess the music at Misfits, it doesn't dictate the theme or the mood of the crowd. The fights do. There's less pressure on yourself. There's more time to kind of experiment and see what's going on. But how do you balance your schedule for doing... Because I guess my schedule is a little bit crazy, or the routine. Because sometimes you're waking up at 4 a.m. to do an interview with someone in America. Or as a DJ, you're playing from like 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. Yeah. How do you manage to like kind of stay stable in that time and keep your normal routine?
Man, you know what? That's something I've struggled with for many years, I'll be honest. Because I try and wake up as early as possible, like on a Monday. But if you're going to bed late on the weekend, it's just not as easy, and then you're just tired throughout the week. So I just try and stay consistent in terms of the time that I'm like going to bed, and my routine throughout the week, which tends to be like a lot more studio work. And say if I'm DJing on the weekend, it's a guarantee that I'm not going to go to bed till like 5 o'clock in the morning. But on the most part, I just try and stay fit and go to the gym and eat well, and then it's just not affecting other parts of my routine in the week.
Okay, that's interesting. So I've noticed that when you eat well and you drink lots of water, it keeps everything on the grind almost. Because when I've gone away to other countries, and you're also jet lagged. But if you keep your eating routine and you drink lots of water, it keeps you kind of human almost. It keeps you stable. You found that?
Yeah. To be fair, I don't actually drink alcohol neither, so I've never really been like. It's never really been a vice for me, you know what I mean? And so I've always been used to like trying to eat pretty healthily anyway. So
okay,
yeah,
that's true, and that's pretty good. Why have you never drunken much alcohol?
It's not like a religious thing or anything like that. It's just out of choice. I never really got into it. So even
That's
when
good.
I'm in the booth at Misfits, like, I know they're not serving alcohol or anything, but I've just got like water with me all the time, so I'm just used to it. Yeah.
Where is your on a normal stadium or like an arena show? Where is your booth located? I'm always everywhere at a Misfits show, but I've never seen you once at a show in the booth doing the DJing.
Okay, yeah, a few people have said this. In fact, it's just imagine you've got the stage like this, and they're walking out, and this is the ring.
Yeah.
The booth is usually to the left or the right of the stage. So
Okay.
yeah, so you got the backstage area, and so as fighters are walking across, I'll be on the left, so then I can see across, Whereas there's been a few shows where I've been on the other side, so it's usually just next to the stage.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the Misfits shows you've been doing. You do the fighters kind of theme songs, their walkout songs.
Yeah.
Did they ever not tell you what song they want to do, and they get annoyed afterwards, or did you always get told what song they want?
I get a list of the songs sent to me beforehand in my inbox, and I just kind of follow that format pretty much.
I heard one story, I think it was on Twitter Space,
Yeah.
where it was Godson didn't send you the right music. What was that happening there? Because remember when Godson fought Tempo Arts, Tempo walked to the ring and then waited in the ring for about 8 minutes before his opponent walked out.
Yeah. So that situation, I believe he had a live performance by Krypton Conan, who would have done a sound check earlier on in the day, and that song that they would have come out to wasn't provided to me beforehand. So in my in the list of songs, all it said next to Godson was live performance. So I assume that whatever song they were coming out to, they would have already programmed on their end, and so they hadn't communicated to me that this is the song, or sent me the song, so it's ready for them to come out to perform. So that's why there was like just air for like 8 minutes. And to be fair, like people at the start that were working there came over to me as in like I'd made a mistake, but I think they soon came to realize that they hadn't communicated that to me, and then the DJ ran over to me and played it off his USB.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So it's literally what happened on that day.
It's those little things that are never kind of cleared up. So it's always interesting hearing that. But they'll send you the list of songs you have to play. Are there any songs where you can't play, like some offensive or copyright issues or anything like that?
In terms of their ring walks,
Yeah.
it's not happened.
Okay.
It's not happened yet.
Right.
No.
That issue is to come in a few weeks or a few months.
It really depends on what's being chosen. But to be fair, like I'm kind of used to, like some of the fighters have the same songs, so I've just got it marked next to them now. Like I think King Kenny comes out to Many Men all the time now. Yeah. So yeah.
I believe that every fighter should have their own kind of theme song in a way, kind of like WWE. So when it hits, people know, like hear the song and go, that's blah blah, that's KSI, that's Deji, rather than switching up the whole time. Then I guess when music's changing the whole time, new songs are coming out, so it's difficult. But for a fighter with their own theme song, I think it'd be a lot more better branding-wise. Would you agree?
I'd say so, definitely, yeah. Definitely.
Because I think if Misfits could start following the WWE route, obviously keeping it real, but they start doing that kind of route, then it's original, and I guess it's quite a smart thing to do. But for yourself, musically-wise, what do you got coming up for yourself?
I'm producing. I produce music as well, so I produce all the Young Dave stuff. We've got his forthcoming single "Blacked Out" coming out, which I produced, and most of his EP as well. And I've got my own record coming out with a rapper called D Smoke, who is based in LA, and he was on a program on Netflix called Rhythm and Flow, which he won. And Kelvin Colt is also on that record, so I'm dropping that the day before Misfits 007. So I'm excited about that one because
it will be played there.
Sorry,
it will be played at Misfits 007.
and it's quite fitting as well because the song is called Power, and it's the type of song that you'd listen to in the gym or like boxing workout. So it's perfect for to be played at like Misfits. So I'm definitely gonna try and get it in a few times whilst I'm playing.
How do you think Misfits Boxing can kind of incorporate music a lot more? Do you have a Misfits Boxing playlist, or how do you think they can mix it in a lot more? Because I know Proper Loud is Mams Taylor's kind of management company in the business, and obviously he's doing Misfits, so it makes sense to kind of intertwine them.
Yeah, funny you mention that. I'm actually working on a Misfits playlist at the moment with a list of all the songs that I play at Misfits, but also the ring entrance themes as well. So we're working on that at the moment as well. Mams is involved as well. He thinks it's a great idea. So funny you mentioned that, but we're kind of already working on that.
What songs have you got on there? Because would it be a bit weird if you got a kind of a KSI song which will already pump you up, and you got one of Slim's walkout musics, which would kind of bring you back down. It'd be so different, the levels.
Backstreet Boys is what he's come out to before, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Vanessa, forgot her name, 1,000 Miles, is it? He came out to the once. But it is what it is. That's what it is. Like, at the end of the day, if that's what they've come out to, I'm going to put it into the playlist. You know, but then
it's such a mood switch, though, isn't it?
It is. It's a stark contrast to, you know, Many Men by 50 Cent, but it is what it is. That's the beauty of the playlist, because at the same time, you know, me playing Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond, that goes off. You know, the crowd get into it, and so, you know, that's part of the branding and the music that fits with what the crowd likes. So, you know, that'll be part of the playlist.
Okay.
Yeah.
In WWE, had their own kind of theme song. Should we Misfits ever have one? For the opening, for the entrance? Not for the entrance, but for like the intros for the whole events.
That's. I'm not sure. I'll have to talk to Mams about that. I think it's a great idea, but we haven't spoken about it yet.
It's on the books.
Yeah, I think it could work.
Who would do it though? Who would be the artist? Or be multiple people? Because you definitely got a few people you could pick from.
For the Misfits soundtrack, I feel like it needs to be quite powerful, and I don't know. Who do you think?
Well, it's got to be out there as well. It can't be anything normal, because
Yeah.
Misfits is so out there, so it's got to fit the kind of niche, hasn't it? So it probably be one where you use like kind of 2 or 3 different artists in the whole song.
Yeah, like maybe like a young blood or someone.
Yeah.
Maybe that could work, you know? I'm not sure.
And then, I don't know, for the bigger events, the pay-per-views, they could be there, or the first time it's performed, they can perform it.
Yeah.
It's like a KSI Jake Paul, they can do the kind of entrance at the start. But in events, I guess, we'll talk about this actually, it's quite interesting. Ibiza, that one's coming up.
Yep.
I guess, musically, that's probably the most incorporated one,
Yep.
because Ibiza is a party place. Do you think on Fight Week, Misfits might put any shows on, or host any big parties on gigs, or music gigs, or anything like that, to entertain the crowds during Fight Week? Because everyone would be hungover the whole time. Everyone would be out there.
Yeah. I think that would be amazing if we could put something on. I'm trying to get something happening at the moment. I'm talking to promoters at the moment in Ibiza. So, you know, even if anyone's watching this and wants to reach out, that's something that I think would be great. Because it's a party place, isn't it?
Makes
And
sense,
so
doesn't it?
it makes perfect sense. And I think it's season closing as well. Because at the
I
end
think
of
2 days later it shuts.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it will be like a great finale, if anything, you know. But yeah, definitely, I agree that would be good.
Or be quite a good money earner. I'm not trying to monetize loads of Misfits things, but every fighter always has their own sort of after party. We'll hang some main Misfits after party. Would be quite smart as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I remember, like, Tom Zanetti's after party, someone else had an after party, lots of different ones. I think Blueface had one on the weekend.
Yeah.
So I think if Misfits had one main one, which everyone goes to,
Yeah.
obviously everyone gets them free, then you get a few members of the public and paid. It's another thing to do.
That would be so dope, and I would be so down to DJ all of those. I know. There's been a few on like boat parties afterwards.
Yeah, for the first KSI event.
Yeah.
The RD one, I think.
But I think like
Right.
because they fall on Saturdays, most of them in the UK, and after the fight, I've rushed over to the West End to do my residency set, and one of those, JJ did come out with Mams and the rest of the crew, but they were just chilling. But it wasn't a dedicated event for the after party.
Yeah.
But doing an official event would be sick, you know.
It's just lots of little things you can incorporate. It's really difficult. It's like thinking outside the box. Or what else you can add. Because the biggest thing about Misfits is boxing's quite niche, but Misfits is just everything. So if it wasn't Misfits, I probably wouldn't be interviewing you right now. I probably wouldn't have interviewed quite a few other people.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
So there's so many it's about being outside the box, incorporating lots of little other ideas which other boxing promotions can't think of. It's like the tag team. No boxing promotion can do that because of the restrictions, but Misfits have found loopholes or got a different commission, so they can do it. Let's talk about music producing though. How cutthroat is the music industry? Because I know boxing is very cutthroat, but music's even worse.
I wouldn't know if it's worse or not because I don't know as much about how cutthroat the boxing industry is. I've heard about it, but the music industry very much so it is, man. It's you know, as a creative, I love making music. It's the industry and the politics and the things behind the scenes that make it not enjoyable. But I think that's just what comes as part of choosing this, you know, path. So, but to answer your question, it's very cutthroat. But you need to be very aware and also thick-skinned to be able to sustain like a career in the industry. You know.
How do you learn who to trust and who to watch out for? Is it by judging people's moods, how they are around you? Because I mean, like lots of people in the music industry, they're great in person, but trying to get hold of them on your phone is impossible. So how do you balance it, and how do you know who to trust and who to be more careful about?
I think it just comes with experience and time, to be honest. That, you know, when I was like 18, I was a lot more naive and I wouldn't have known any better. But over time, you come to understand like people's behaviors and characteristics and know what you've seen before. And so you can make a better judgment when you meet people, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it just comes with time. Like now, I think I'm a lot more in tune with maybe people's energy and, you know, the way they're coming across maybe in a session, or like when it comes to doing paperwork or whatever. I wouldn't have known any better when I was like 16 or 17. So
It's true. It comes with experience.
yeah, exactly.
When you, I think the more people you meet, the better idea you get of people. So you get of judging your character. So it's quite smart. Before I end it though, yourself though, you got more stuff with Young Dave coming out. Anything else?
At the moment, I'm focused on the, you know, the Misfits stuff, as you know, and you got the production and just yeah, man. Like me and Mams are working on some cool stuff. Like, I've known Mams for a very long time, so you know we're working on some cool stuff with Misfits. But other than that, man, you know, you've pretty much nailed it. Yeah.
One more thing. I'll see you next to the KSI fight. Joe Fournier.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Joe. Yeah.
You've been doing some stuff with Joe in the past, years and years ago though.
I think a lot of people don't know that I was Joe Fournier's resident DJ like 15 years ago, because he used to own a nightclub in the West End. So it's this fight's special, you know, because obviously JJ's part of, you know, we're all part of the same crew, and you know he's fighting Joe Fournier, who was essentially an ex-boss of mine in a way. So it's pretty cool.
And you're kind of one of the reasons why KSI kind of got proper loud as well. Is that true? Kind of signed a Mams, you kind of introduced them.
How do you know that?
I know a lot of things. I know you did the research.
That's interesting. It's an interesting take. Yeah, kind of JJ in
Not the main reason, but one of the reasons.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I guess maybe I've played a part in that journey and connection, if you want to call it that, indirectly in a way. Yeah. So
really, for this fight, you know both the people very, very well.
Well, actually, I wouldn't even say that I know them very, very well. Like, I wouldn't say I know JJ really, really well. Like, you know, we're part of the same like clique in a way because of Proper Loud, right? And you know, my best friend, Abs, he works for Proper Loud, and Mams is one of my other best friends. Whereas Joe is also just someone that I know from the industry level. Like, I don't like talk to Joe every single day, you know. It's, you know, I'm rooting for JJ. You know, sorry, Joe.
I'm rooting for JJ, guys. But it's funny, I guess, that you kind of got links with both men, and they're both fighting all the way back as well. 15 years ago. That's crazy. That's a long time.
15 years, yeah. And Mams is, I don't know, almost like 20 years or something.
Really, you know Mams that long?
Yeah, a long time. You know what's funny as well? I don't know if anyone's noticed, but I sometimes play some of Mams' music at Misfits.
Really?
Because he used to be a rapper.
And the whole crowd just goes quiet.
Yeah. But yeah, Mams used to be a rapper, and you know, early days I was supporting his music, and you know, I'd spend time with him in the studio as well when he was recording in Los Angeles and stuff. And so yeah, there's been a few occasions where I've dropped some of his music in the sets.
Did you notice?
Yeah, and you know what as well, like I've zoomed in on my camera and I can see him rapping along to his own songs and that, which is pretty cool, you know. But yeah, some of his stuff was pretty cool from back in the day, you know. But he's I think he chose the right path, I'll be honest, you know. I told him that as well a few times.
Did he used to manage or work with Lady Gaga?
No, he didn't manage Lady Gaga.
Not manage, but was he working with her or something?
I think he was working with her. Mams was, I think he was one of the first investors in her before she became Lady Gaga.
So an OG?
Yeah, I think he was one of the first investors in her, yeah. And I was around during those times. And so, that, as far as I remember, that's what it was.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
It's something, I'd love to do an issue with Mams where you don't talk about boxing whatsoever. Mams is, I don't know if you want to do it or not, but we just talk about everything, because not many people know Mams very well. They just see him as a kind of the figurehead of Misfits. They don't know his whole past. Yeah. He's been around for a long time.
No, he has. And, you know, I know him very well. He's my boy. So, you know, I've got some incredible memories of Mams, like just doing goofy stuff in Los Angeles and stuff. And, but yeah, Mams is a bit of an enigma in a way, you know? But you can Google.
You want that though.
I think for him, but you can also Google him and see him like punching.
Yeah, the TNC.
yeah.
He wants to open a bear sanctuary in his ranch.
Doesn't surprise me, bro. It doesn't surprise me. Like anything with him, it doesn't surprise me.
Do you think he will?
probably. Yeah, he probably will. He'll probably have like a chicken coop. He'll probably have like all kinds of stuff, man. But,
Sounds pretty good. I want to go to his ranch. I guess Misfits Nashville is coming up. Have you been to his ranch? Have you seen it?
No.
You never been?
I haven't been to Nashville before.
Oh wow.
No, he was living in Los Angeles. A lot of people know that he was living in Los Angeles before, so I spent a lot of time with him over there. And yeah, I'll be at the Nashville fight though. I'll be DJing there, so I'll
Were you
see
in
him.
New Orleans?
I wasn't. No.
Oh, you weren't?
No. I'm other than New Orleans, I'll be at all of the other fights. Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
Looking
Then
forward to it, man. Really looking forward to it. Yeah.
I guess it's good because then this KSI one it will sell out. So music-wise, it's way easier for you. For other smaller shows, I guess Telford did sell out, but I guess the Sheffield one, which didn't do so good in ticket sales, it's more difficult for yourself. There's less people to be bouncing around to the music. But in one which is like 15,000 people sold out, they'll be pretty good. But I do appreciate you coming down here today. It's cool. It's a nice studio. It's a nice little setup.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah,
very clean.
Since I cook up every day, man. But thank you, man. I appreciate you, bro. And you as well, man. You're killing it. I've seen you all over YouTube. So bravo to you.
Thank you. I'm trying to get into. I don't know. The music scene does interest me.
Yeah.
I don't know a few people. I guess I did Blueface last week, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I guess he's not known for more of his music, more for like kind of the relationship with Christian rock.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's just like people like Oliver Tree, Blueface, I guess KSI, yourself. I've never done SX ever.
Sorry.
I've never interviewed SX. I don't think I've ever. I've been around him. I've never talked to him or anything. I never met him.
SX is so talented. Like seriously, that guy is so talented. Like I admire just like his sound and just how much he's in tune with music. You know,
Do you
because
work a lot of him?
we have in the past. Like I've known him a long time, and so he's I don't think a lot of people know that because he's an incredible artist, but he's had a very like illustrious music production career, and he's produced for like Lil Wayne and like J. Cole and stuff. So that's pretty incredible, man. Yeah, he'd be a great person to interview.
I'll send him a message. Where is he? He's based in Wolves, isn't he?
Yeah,
that's not too far from London.
Well, I know him because I used to live in those ends.
Oh, really?
I'm from Dudley, like near Birmingham,
Oh, wow,
so
okay.
we used to hang out like back in the day before I moved to London, and so that's how we kind of know each other from the area. He's a Wolves fan as well, which is a bit.
I see he always wears the t-shirt, the football shirt. I've seen a few on his Instagram.
I'm not mad at that though, man. He's loyal to his local, 'Cause I'm an Aston Villa fan, so up the Villa.
That's fair enough. I don't have time for football. I don't know. It's a sport which is so inconsistent, so I can never kind of get not addicted, but I can never stay in it.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Because one time your team's on top of the world,
Yeah.
and then the worst team in the world for the next week. So it's so inconsistent. I can never kind of keep up with it. I
That's
mean, like when I was younger, I loved it. Then you kind of faded away from it, I guess.
Yeah, man. Definitely, that's what it is. Look at the Premier League at the moment; it's all up and down. Look, I think who's it? They're not performing as well.
Man United, Arsenal.
Oh no, Liverpool this year they're not performing as well, considering they won it a few years ago. But then you can see someone like Villa, they're outperforming like so many previous years.
It's why it's so good because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I guess same with Misfits, same with music,
Yeah,
same with everything.
exactly.
Kind of going full circle. But Fricktion, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, bro.